Happy Friday, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of the John and Wendy Show here live on the Outlaw Nation channel. I am the Outlaw John Rocha, joined as always by my better half on this show, Wendy Lee. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. We're back. It's been busy.
Yeah.
It's been real busy, actually.
It's been a minute. Yeah, it's been a
skipped
while.
how many weeks?
How are you? How are things? I mean, it's been crazy with all the screenings, all the events. I follow you on Instagram and on your social media, seeing you pop up at all these premieres. Your channel is past 60,000 subscribers now. So much happening. How are you feeling about everything?
It's been very busy. I'm trying not to have burnout.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I hear you.
I don't know what it is. Like when we get to the end of the year, we as in me, myself, and I feel like I get there or I'm just waiting to get there and then I'm done and I'm just not motivated to do work.
Oh, yeah.
No, until January, which it literally doesn't matter. Having a new year, it doesn't, you know what I'm saying? Like it feels new. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know why that's become like a thing.
Well, because as you get older, the energy starts to be a little more difficult to find. And also, after you've been doing it for so long, it's just kind of repeating the cycle. What's the new thing? Okay, great.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. Let's watch it. Let's analyze it. All right. Can I take my break now? Yes, for about 5 minutes, but there's something new coming along. So with all the advent of so much stuff coming out from all the studios, it's naturally going to, kind of take its toll on you after a few years of doing it. But I mean, you stay up all night. Sometimes you've got, late hours you keep to doing these reactions. So it's a lot of messing with your body clock as well, to try to get the stuff out so that people can enjoy the content that you and Dustin do over there on the Movie Couple. So it's understandable. It really is. But finding the times to take a break is not easy.
It's not. And then you feel, I don't know if you do, I feel guilty when I take breaks. Like I shouldn't.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But like at some point, if I'm hanging out at Disney, because it makes me feel better to be at Disney, at some point I'm like, I should be working.
Yeah.
Terrible.
No, I know it's a true thing. And my girlfriend has to constantly tell me that. She's like, are you taking a day off for real? Or are you taking a day off like you'll do a couple of trailer reactions or whatever? Because there's two different things. Yeah, but it takes about 30 minutes. And that's not taking a day off, is it? You're going to be worried about when it's dropping, worried about getting it up. Are you going to have the right SEO? All these kinds of things. So you're always worried about that kind of stuff. So I was like, yeah, I know. You're right. So for Thanksgiving, because she was up in North and I was here, I literally took the day off and did nothing. And I wanted to do watch-alongs of all the NFL games on my channel. And I was like, no.
Just watch it.
Just watch the fucking game.
Without making it work.
Exactly. Remember what it was like to just watch a game. So,
wait, so did you do Thanksgiving by yourself?
Yeah, by myself. I just went to Boston Market, paid about $50 for a bunch of food and brought it back to the house and just sat there.
You know what? More power to you. That sounds so relaxing and fantastic.
It was very chill. I
love it.
I mean, the line was a little suspect. There were some interesting people in the line at the Boston Market, but in the end, the food was okay. It wasn't great. And I sat and watched football and then planes, trains, and automobiles. That was my basic Thanksgiving relax. And then you know what? The next day came and I was back at the grind. So
there you go.
That's the whole thing. So I don't think Thanksgiving is that big of a deal for me. So it wasn't an issue. And she was up with her mom and Dad spent time with her mom. And we just didn't think it was financially feasible for us to go up there for 6 days because she was going to have to see some of her friends as well. So she was going to stay at her mom's. So it just made more sense for me not to go up there, for us to get a hotel room the whole time because I was not going to stay at her mom's. Let's just put that on the table. So
no, that sounds like, I feel like you made the right choice.
Yeah. I
really
feel like I did too. Yeah.
Just better for you, better for her. So she got to, have give her family her undivided attention as well.
Exactly. But yeah, thank you all for joining us here as we're back now after a little bit of time off here. And right off the bat, we get a fantastic super chat from Simon Section. Love Simon. He's like, great seeing you two together again. Missed you two. Out of all the new trailers that came out, which do each of you think will be the most profitable? Remember to not bet against James Cameron. I did, and it cost me $20. Next time, steak dinner. Oh yeah.
Whoa.
Good point.
Wow.
Yeah, good question.
Okay. Great question. And thank you so much for the support, Simon.
Absolutely, Simon. Let's circle back on this question, Simon, after we talk about the trailers and then have a conversation after that and talk about which film looks like it's going to be the most profitable after we talk about the trailers. But thank you so much, Simon, for sending that in. And you're absolutely right. Do not bet against James Cameron. And if any of you all want to send some support in as we go along during the show, if you could send it through Super Chat or send it through Streamlabs. You see the Streamlabs address right above our heads there in the middle. I'll also pin it in the chat in just a second. But as we go along, Wendy's the one who steers this ship. I just kind of get us out of port, but Wendy steers the ship. So, Wendy, where are we going to first here?
Well, I'll say this. We've got CCXP happening right now.
Yeah.
And the trailers are banging, man. We got 1, 2, 3. I'd say 3.5. 3.5 because the Ant-Man one is like a legacy trailer. So it's not brand new stuff, really. But I'm sure they got to see, brand new footage. But anyways, it's pretty cool. And this first one we're going to dive into because I thought of you immediately. The second it dropped, I was like, where's Rocha? Is he excited about this? Transformers. Rise of the Beasts. What did you think?
Oh, I really loved the trailer. I spoke about it a couple times with other people, but like just to tell you, we've had conversations. I love the technology that's involved with Transformers. And you can complain about those Michael Bay films, and I think everybody has a right to complain about if they want to. But I was always impressed when I watched the behind the scenes stuff on these films of the multiple moves that are involved with changing from a car into a Transformer and back again to a car, and seeing that highlighted here in such unique ways in the trailer, I thought was great. Having Anthony Ramos be like, oh my God, it's all happening like that. And then having it become, replicate itself out on the road to kind of trick that cop that was pursuing it. I thought that was a bunch of great new technology. Having Ron Perlman there as Optimal Prime taking on Optimus Prime or working together, these deep voiced guys. The expansive nature of this thing I thought was really fun to see. The different types of animals, the different locations we're going to. It looks like we're going to some festival, possibly Latino festival, Mexican festival, something like that. We see these, or Spanish festival. We see these clothes and dancing around. How is that playing into all of this? And all the different types of Maximals that we got throughout this trailer, which was so cool. And RC showing up near the end of the trailer as well. And all of that. So there was a lot here to really enjoy. Remember, this is just a teaser. So it's just to let you know, hey, this is the vibe we're going with. Are you into it? And for me, I was. What about you?
I always get so mad at how good these Transformers trailers are because they get me every time, despite how I feel about the previous one that I saw. I mean, I don't hate them all.
Right.
I like Transformers so much. Like, us growing up watching it, playing with the action figures and watching the cartoon, which is also like very dated. If you watch it back now, you're like, oh gosh. But you want it to be good. Like, we're not just hating on it just because it's fun. Because I don't think that's ever fun to be like negative about somebody's, heart and soul that they poured into a project, right? So I want to find things to like about it. And oftentimes I feel kind of like let down. I'm like, man, this would have been so cool. I love Transformers. I still do.
Yeah.
The toys and stuff. But this trailer looks really, really good. Stephen Cable Jr. is the director for this one. So I feel like that's already kind of giving us a different vibe. We saw that it was a different vibe already with Travis Knight, a very different movie, and that was very Bumblebee centric. This one's ensemble. And I liked that we're mixing it. It feels at the scene where they're running toward each other, Decepticons, the Primals, the Maximals, all of them, it's giving like Endgame Thanos versus the Avengers.
Oh yeah. The final battle at the end there absolutely has that vibe. I also thought of, and I know some people might get upset, I also thought of the beginning of Justice League, Zack Snyder's Justice League, when they're all fighting Darkseid, and all the heroes are showing up in ancient times to fight Darkseid when he first comes to Earth. So I had that vibe as well. So the scope of it is really great. And you're right, that battle reminds the first 5 minutes of Bumblebee on Cybertron. You're getting that kind of vibe as you're seeing this thing. So I thought there was a nice element to add to this as well.
Yeah.
We didn't get much of the story though, did we, Wendy? Like, not much. We don't know what Anthony Ramos is a part in all this, or Dominic Fishback's part in all this. So did that kind of bother you a little bit, or were you okay as this is just a teaser, not getting too much of the story just yet?
I'm okay without the story. I am actually mostly okay, and I love these two actors, but I'm mostly okay without the humans either. for the Transformers films. It's Transformers, and I think some of the problems that I feel like I had with the previous films, it became human-centric instead of focusing on the Transformers. And I was like, yes, I understand the humans make an important part and they team up and, you know, helps the narrative so you don't have the CGI the entire time because that's expensive.
Right.
But at the same time, I felt like some of the previous films were skewed so human dialogue heavy. I'm like, I don't care about this. Like, let's go back to the Decepticons and the Autobots.
Right,
like, that's what I want to see. So what I'm hoping is, like, I thought Bumblebee had a nice mix. You know, it wasn't super action heavy, but it had a nice mix of what Haley was doing and what Bumblebee was doing, and they worked together well. So it didn't really bother me that we don't know much about them just yet, because I know this is just the first one and we're going to see more. And I'm very excited because Michelle Yeoh, I think she's the one that's voicing RC, right? So I'm like super excited when you get to hear her or Pete Davidson in this trailer. And I know they're just holding it for the next whatever. I mean, the movie doesn't even come out until June.
I know. It's got a while to go before it comes out.
So we've got a while. So I think, you know, going to the chat, it looks like everybody is liking it as well.
Yeah, it seems like, a lot of people. GFan86 says, I love Bumblebee and Beast Wars.
Beast Wars.
Ernie Birdson, I really hope to see Jazz. He is my favorite Transformer. Ernie are also saying no Predators for this movie. Maybe in the sequel they will be introduced. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be for a bit. And Bruce Camboso is saying the Transformers trailer was epic.
I really liked it. I was like, damn it. I liked it. But that's not the only trailer that dropped, you know, during CCXP. I think the one that a lot of people are talking about, it's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the same one. Oh, wait, you were at In Hall H.
I was. Yes.
Okay, so is that the same trailer that y'all got?
No. No, absolutely not. A lot of new footage in this one that we hadn't seen before. We did a reaction for it on the Geek Buddies because someone had told us who had seen it that it was completely different from the Hall H thing. So we could do an authentic trailer reaction to it. And so, there was much more footage of Rocket and the High Evolutionary in the one we saw at Comic-Con. So this one had a little bit less. It was more about the entire Guardians of the Galaxy crew and everybody involved in it. Now, were there some clips or moments or a few seconds that were from the previous trailer that we saw at Comic-Con? Yes, but most notably, Peter Quill screaming at someone who was on a surgery table and possibly losing that person. And that scene was certainly in the one that we saw at Comic-Con, but a lot of the other stuff, and that scene where he's reaching in for the young baby raccoon. Oh my God. Good night.
I can't.
That look. Oh my God. Puss in Boots, eat your heart out. Because that's the look.
Yes.
That's
yes,
the look.
100%. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, there's more, and we didn't get any Adam Warlock in the one at Comic-Con. So getting to see Adam Warlock here, I thought was really cool in action, right? And I thought that was really cool to see from Will Poulter. So, and the scene, like the space stuff, the planets, all of that, the visuals there were incredible to watch in this trailer. But the story itself about one last ride, one last time we'll get together. Clearly, you know, Gunn has made it clear that this is the end of the trilogy with his crew. So we have no idea who's going to live, who's going to die, and what's going to happen. And how it's going to connect up into the holiday special, which we just watched. So
I think there was a reason why they added that drop of information in the holiday special. So I think that's going to come into play for sure. There's a couple of scenes, especially I think with Star-Lord screaming at something. It feels like it was in the operating room maybe.
Right.
And it looks of devastation and sadness and anger. And I was like, oh no, I don't want that. I don't want whatever he's experiencing. I don't want to see it. So I know a lot of people are speculating. Could be the last time we see Rocket, Drax. Dave Bautista has voiced that he's kind of done with, you know, I mean, it's 3 movies. That's a lot to play the same character. Right. Plus a special. So not saying he doesn't like the character, but I think he's just career-wise, he wants to continue evolving.
Well, it's more than 3 movies, isn't it? Because he was in Endgame, Infinity War, so he's Love and Thunder. So he's popped up in a number of movies. So he's played the character in a number of movies, and maybe he's hit that wall of like
body makeup every time.
Yeah.
Every time.
And maintaining
that's
that
got to get
shape.
exhausting.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Some
that's
people,
exhausting.
Oh, it is. A couple of the Geek Buddies yesterday, they mentioned that it could be Mantis who was on that table because we just found out that she's his sister. So his last connection to his biological father, his last family member, possibly
that
dying.
Makes it sad. I don't like this.
I know. Yeah, I know. It's a tough one. So yeah. I mean, yeah. That's the thing we worry about too. But a lot of people speculate the Rocket. I don't know. I mean, because Groot has died already. Peter's lost his mom in the first movie. We saw he lost Yondu in the second movie. So
Peter's lost a lot.
It
might be the ongoing theme for Peter Quill. I guess it really depends on contract and for story and what Marvel wants to do, who really wants to remain as a part of the MCU, who doesn't want to. Man, now you're making me think that because Drax and Mantis got to star in the holiday special, that's why they got to star in it. It's because this is the last time we're really going to see them. Plus Rocket, everybody's talking about that. So I don't like any of these theories.
Look, it's just hard to carry the weight of that in my head, the possibility of all of that. So but it is possible. It's Peter. So
it's totally possible.
That's the thing. He's not enslaving a whole town with his mind because he can't deal with the loss. He goes a whole nother route. He just kind of rolls with it. It's different from Scarlet. So.
Well, look, I feel like this crew of the Guardians of the Galaxy have given us a really great run.
Oh, yeah.
It was a really
100%.
obscure start. Like no other Marvel film when their first film came out was like it. And I fell in love with it immediately. I was like, oh, this is chaotic. This is my vibe. So we'll just have to wait until, is it March of next year? Yeah.
Yeah, March.
I think
5th.
March of next year. A lot of stuff going on in March, man. Next year. I was going to travel. No, I don't think I can.
Right.
Yeah, there's some stuff going on.
Is it? Oh, sorry. Let me check because I think it might be April.
Is it June?
Is it May? I think it might be May. So let me check real quick because I don't have all those things.
May 5th, 2023.
May 5th. So it is May 5th. All right, May 5th.
What is in March? Transformers then?
Transformers
is in March.
Cocaine Bear's in February. I know that.
I'm excited about that. No, okay. Transformers is June.
Transformers is June, right? Exactly.
Something comes out in March.
Indy?
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh, Ant-Man and the Wasp.
That's the one. I was like, I know we get a Marvel movie earlier on.
Right.
That's right.
Okay. Do we have another one?
Yeah, we got a couple more. One is CCXP, the other one isn't. You just mentioned it, but we'll save that for a little bit because we got to talk about Indiana Jones 5.
I mean, come on now.
I can't believe you forget Harrison Ford is 80 years old.
Right?
In this film, jumping from car. Yes, I know there's stunt people involved, but the actor still has to do a lot of movement required of him. And I know he had injured his shoulder or something like that during filming, and they had to halt production. So this is also, speaking of last hurrahs, this is also going to be Harrison's last hurrah as Indiana Jones, the iconic Indiana Jones. So a part of me don't know how to feel about it.
Yeah.
A part of me is like, yes, let the man rest.
Yeah.
Let him do other films that don't require as much, stunts and movement. Another part of me, I was like, but then who else is going to be Indiana Jones? Or maybe we just don't get Indiana Jones after this.
Maybe. I mean,
just
a lot
let
of people,
let it be.
I mean, and the thing is, I said this, and we were having the battle with a few people on the bite-sized breakdown about Indiana Jones's placement and all of this, and it's like, well, look, he wasn't an original guy. Like his look was influenced by someone else who was already a treasure hunter. If we remember Last Crusade, so. It's not like Indiana Jones is an original creation and he came up with his entire look all by himself. He's influenced. So he might influence somebody else who comes afterwards. And a lot of people are complaining about Phoebe Waller-Bridge, that it might be heard. They are not going to make Phoebe Waller-Bridge the lead of an Indiana Jones movie. It's not going to happen. So I don't know why people are freaking out about it. But him hanging up the hat makes a lot of sense. And Mangold did that with Logan already. So he's walked this path already with another superstar hanging up their claws, so to speak, from what they were doing before. So it's not out of the realm of possibility to see that happen with Indiana Jones. But I liked the scope of this one, the visuals here as well. The danger that you sense throughout, the feeling like Salah being the one who narrates it at the beginning, all of that was really fun to see. I was bummed we didn't see Marion Ravenwood because rumors are she's back, and we only saw a glimpse of Antonio Banderas, and we didn't see anything from Mads or from Boyd Holbrook in terms of speaking lines or anything like that. We just saw them.
Yeah. Not yet. This is the first one. I think they wanted their whole point is to get people excited and to showcase with very quick flashes that even if you pause, you get the blurry. You're like, what is that? I do think that this has there's going to be a lot of is there something else I can help with? My AI just activated. I don't know.
I'm sorry.
Okay. That was weird. I think that because it's called Dial of Destiny, it's gonna deal with time.
Really?
Yeah, because what else do you dial? I was like, oh, sundial. I was like, well, that also tells time. So Dial of Destiny, I think we're gonna see some time jumps.
Interesting. Okay.
But that's all speculation based on literally one word.
Well, we're seeing flashbacks in the
That's true. They de-aged him a lot.
Yeah, they de-aged him. So are they gonna go back and forth in time? I think the concern I would have is a guy, as you said, 80 years old, having him go back and forth in time to play the younger version of himself. You can de-age the face. You can't de-age the physical body of the actor as he tries to become or act like he did back in earlier times. So I'm going to be very interested to see how they weave all of that in. But I mean, the trailer was supposed to give us that feeling of Indiana Jones back. And certainly I think the score hit at the right time in the trailer, seeing the stuff underwater, which we don't get. We usually haven't had too much underwater stuff with Indy. So it was nice to have that as an element. And then seeing all the stuff on land, the boulder again, that was funny. The whips and the gun being turned around as a joke from the first film. So that was funny too. So I think we're in good hands with Mangold, and all the people that were concerned we're going to get Crystal Skull again. I think we're not going to get Crystal Skull again. It feels like we're going to get a really good Indiana Jones film when it's all said and done. At least
I really hope so. Let's this go out with a big hurrah. Let's talk about another trailer. This wasn't a part of the CCXP, but this was hilarious and wild. The Cocaine Bear trailer.
The what? Yeah, the Cocaine Bear trailer.
That was crazy because it's a true event. Like
yes,
what?
From 1985. Yeah.
That's crazy. I was a wee baby.
Oh, he was a wee baby.
I was a wee baby. Just a wee little lass. I can't believe how wild this story is, and I think the route that they're going with this movie and the vibe of the trailer very dark. Because how else do you tell the story other than in a dark comedy format? Right. It's either that or horror.
Yeah.
And I feel like a dark comedy is way more fun.
Yeah.
So it just I remember talking about it. I think even back during like when we still had movie talk happening. I feel like somebody at one point brought it up. I'm like, what is a cocaine bear? I was like, what? And literally the bear ingested who knows how much cocaine.
Yeah, a lot.
And I don't even know what they did. I haven't looked it up yet.
Yeah.
What happened to the bear? I'm sure it didn't. Did they leave it alone after the drugs wore off?
I don't know. It's a good question. I haven't done a deep dive into this true story of the Cocaine Bear, but I will. I absolutely will be reading everything possible because this looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's interesting that they're dropping it at the end of February. Do they think that this is one that's going to have legs possibly and not have too much competition? So kind of slide on in there and make some money. I mean, Violent Night, I think, is going to make some money this weekend. And
1.1 mil.
Yeah. What's that?
1.1 mil
already in the
Thursday. Yeah.
So
it's pretty good.
That bodes well for the weekend because they didn't do it for a huge budget, and I think Cocaine Bear they didn't do it for a huge budget either. And so you go, okay, well, how much can it make? And so those horror type of dark comedy, gory type films are finding an audience here nowadays, and I think that's what's going to be a good thing for Cocaine Bear and Universal. This is a studio release. This is not like a smaller arm of their studio. It's a full-on studio release. So what more are we going to get in the future trailers that feel like a studio release? And the cast is great. What more in terms of the story are we going to get is there going to be more of an emotional story here amidst the humor
right.
than you might expect? Because Violent Night, I'm not gonna lie to you, I got a little emotional at the end of
Yeah,
Violent
they did that really well. They balanced that
that.
well with the Christmas spirit and the warm, fuzzy feeling. You're like,
Yeah.
I believe Santa. And at the same time, you're like, yeah, I'm Santa.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So
Yeah.
if you're able to make that kind of those two things meet up somewhere in your movie, then you've accomplished something really good, in my opinion. So
Yeah, absolutely. So those are a couple of trailers. I want to go back to our super chat from Simon.
Yeah.
Answer the questions, right?
Let's do it.
So out of all the new trailers that came out, what do you think will be the most, which one do you think will be the most profitable? The most profitable.
It's tough. If Michael Bay was directing this, I would probably lean towards that. But
because international.
Yeah.
Okay, we're
I think
talking
Indiana Jones 5. I think Indiana Jones 5
India,
might be the most
Guardians,
profitable.
Ant-Man. Yeah, do we want to think internationally or do we want to just think domestically?
Domestically. Okay, domestically,
I think it's going to be Guardians.
Yeah, I think I agree with
Guardians
you.
or Quantumania.
Yeah. Definitely Guardians, though. I think we're both leaning towards that, and I think that makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Because Ant-Man is still kind of a smaller, no pun intended, smaller part of the MCU, whereas Guardians is such a massive following. People love it. They didn't do an Ant-Man holiday special. They did a Guardians holiday special.
They did a Guardians one. Yeah.
A lot of people are behind them. But internationally, I think depends. If Transformers is good, I think Transformers is the winner. But if it's not and Indiana Jones is good, then to me, Indiana Jones is going to be the one.
Is Transformers able to show in the big country that it's going to be shown in China?
You're trying to say China.
I'll never say it like that.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit. Sorry. No, I don't know. It's a good question. Will it open in China? Did Transformers open? Transformers did open in China, though,
I feel like because the toys over there, like there's a lot of fans of that franchise. But I don't, sometimes you don't know with distributing.
Yeah.
With
China, I'm sorry, I keep saying it that way. Where is it? Because that asshole trained my mouth to say it that way. Yeah, it made $300 million in China. The
last one?
Age of Extinction.
Which I didn't like.
Yeah. So, yeah, it makes its money.
I would say it's Transformers then. I was going to bet on Indy. And this is just speaking to the trailers that came out of CCXP.
Right.
Because Avatar, I think, may be on another playing field.
Yeah, Avatar. Yeah. Oh, no. I don't know. People are like saying to me, like, when I see the projections for Avatar 140 to 175 million, I'm kind of like, what? But then Jeff was telling me yesterday on the hot mic that he thinks the 175 million is the new 225 million. That 175 is comparable because it's post-COVID. So post-COVID, 175 million is pre-COVID 225 million. So, okay. If that's the barometer, then yes, I agree. It's what it's going to make.
Taking in recession and people's reluctance on going to the theaters.
Still, right, exactly. Yeah.
I get it.
So, yeah. It makes sense too.
Well, I mean, I can't wait to see Avatar. I can't wait to see any of these films. Like, it's going to be a really, really, really fun time in the theaters that we have coming up next year, as well as the end of the year with Avatar.
Yeah, I mean, Avatar's right around the corner. I'm going on Monday or Tuesday.
You are?
Yeah. There's
this coming Tuesday.
It just opened a how can I say this? A screening for San Diego
because embargo lifts
on Tuesday
a little bit. So I had the option to do a screening.
Okay.
Or go to the premiere. So I picked the premiere.
Oh, well, of course you go to the premiere. That's a smarter choice.
I did ask, though. I was like, so is it going to be shown in 3D at the premiere? And they told me yes. Because if it wasn't, I think I would have picked the press screening, which was going to be 3D.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it has to be like that's the way that James Cameron intends for his film to be viewed.
Yes.
So I want to view it in the format that he wants it. He specifically made this movie for, but I was like, ooh, the premiere, twist my leg.
I was going to drive up if they didn't give me a screening down here on the 6th. I was going to drive up for that because there's no way an after theater reaction for that isn't going to do a lot of numbers. So
that's going to do really, really well.
Exactly. So I was like, now there's one in San Diego, even better, because I could just step right out of the theater, step out in that alley and shoot like I always do and put it right up, you know.
What are your expectations for it? Because, you know, we're being introduced to a lot of new characters. Huh?
It's a good question. It's a very good question. My expectations for it. Because I mean, I don't put on Avatar for shits and giggles. Like I rarely put it on, you know, and I have it. I just rarely put it on. It's not really the thing that I run to watch. But that being said, I do like the story and I do like the actors and the performances in the movie every time I watch it, especially Stephen Lang, who rarely gets a chance to show what he can do. I love Stephen Lang. And so I hope it's a better film. And Cameron has said, the reason it's longer is because we're spending more time with developing these relationships. And that's a good thing or a bad thing, because James is not really known for having these strong relationships in his movies necessarily and having these great scripted dialogue that makes you believe the relationship. It's usually the actors who are developing that relationship in the chemistry with themselves, because some of that dialogue in Titanic is just cringeworthy, but DiCaprio and Winslet make it work because of their chemistry. So I hope that it's a film that moves me, touches me, and teaches me, or at least shows me something that I haven't seen before, aside from the technology, you know. So that's my thoughts. What about you?
I feel like I'm very similar. I really did enjoy Avatar. I wasn't one of the ones like that were like crazy over it, but as I watched it, the story was fine. The actors are great. The cinematography is stunning. And that's what I really remember the most. At one point I sat back in the theater. I was like, oh my gosh. You know, that's James Cameron calling you and say,
stop talking about the movie. I'm gonna turn that off. Sorry.
You will see it in 3D IMAX.
Wait, San Diego? Which theater are you going to?
I don't know. I don't know what to say.
Don't tell me to F off like you told that Fox exec to F off. I don't want to deal with that, please.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you haven't heard that story?
No.
James Cameron told a story last week, last week when he was doing the rounds as Avatar is coming and doing press rounds, and spoke about the fact that a Fox executive came into his office and was complaining about the length of the movie. And Cameron claims, because this is James Cameron, he's always the hero of his own stories. He claims that he told the Fox exec to F off and to get the hell out of his office, and that he has no idea what he's talking about, and to not come in there and ever say that again to him, because his movies make money, you know. So
I respect anybody who has the courage to walk into James Cameron's office and say, your movie's too long. Like, I can't. I just
it's like the Emperor in Amadeus. Just cut a few notes and it'll be fine. Just
oh man, well, we're looking forward to it nonetheless. It's going to be beautiful. Totally. I'm already liking what I'm seeing. D23 had really good. They showed us a bunch of footage with 3D glasses on.
Yes,
and I thought it was gorgeous. So I'm looking forward to it. I think I might have to watch the original again.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
Right before, just to freshen my memory. I feel like I mostly remember it, but why not? You know,
I'm sure it's showing right now, isn't it? I thought it was showing in LA.
I think it is too.
Yeah.
I think it is too. So yeah, maybe. But it's a long movie, so I feel like I'd rather put it on at home.
And especially because they added like 10 extra minutes for the re-release. So it's now a 7-hour movie.
So if you put it together, it's like the Lord of the Rings extended version. Just 2 days of movie watching.
That's all. Just you can watch it in 2 days, and then you'll be ready. Take notes, though. Take notes.
Fantastic. So hopefully that answers your question, Simon. Thanks for your super chat. And feel free to send any more super chats in, you guys, if you would like. If you have questions you want us to answer directly. And with that, I kind of want to stay on the CCXP.
Okay. Can we take a quick break before we jump into that, Wendy?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Let's take a quick break, and I do this for the podcast feed, and we'll be right back right after this. Oh, look at that. Just kind of out in the wilderness. All right. Out in space. And we're back. Okay.
And we're back.
Let me fix that later. Go ahead. Yes.
That's great. So let's talk, because they had a little bit of a presentation from the Star Wars side of things at CCXP.
Yes. Yeah.
So Favreau and Dave Filoni in good old, presentation fashion on stage, talking about the next biggest show coming up in Star Wars on Disney Plus, and that's The Mandalorian season 3. And he's teasing a much bigger scope for the series. He says he wants every episode to feel like Christmas. I love his excitement, and he's like, yeah, we got a good show. I love it. You're going to love it. But I worry that creates this unreachable expectation for the fans.
Right.
So if we get a reveal here, whatever cameo there, whatever it may be, it's going to be good. But I worry that for some people, it's not Christmas for me. Not good enough. So I love that he promised that. I just know, and I don't think that's anybody, that's not you, and I don't think it's any of the viewers who are watching today.
Right.
It's a really very small group of people that kind of are in this like bubble of just like, I'll take what they give me and I'm going to hate on it. I'm going to still call myself a fan. I'm going to hate on everything loudly. Yeah. And I worry about because those are the people that tweet the most.
Yes.
And they're just like, it's bad. I was like, it's not bad. You just created all this headcanon inside your head, this like, not crazy because you're a fan, so like it's fine to want to have and see something, but don't be upset that your own like imagination doesn't come true. It's not your show. You're not the writers.
Yeah, exactly.
So I love that he said that, but I just got worried as soon as he said it. I was like, oh. What do you think?
I agree with you, right? I whenever directors or producers or creatives are out there trying to say, we have this and we're going to, when you set the expectation high, I agree with you, Wendy. You better be able to clear that bar, especially with Star Wars. Oh my God, especially with Star Wars. I would so underplay my show and underplay my project if I was on that stage, because you don't want to get people all like giddy and then you deliver Kenobi, which was mixed, or you deliver Book of Boba Fett, which was mixed. Not everything is going to be Andor. And I know Mandalorian has a great reputation, but doesn't mean Mandalorian can't stumble in a few episodes, and so you just don't know when you're going to run out of gas, and you may think this works really well. And then you get in front of fans and fans are like, nah, no, thanks. I mean, Kathleen Kennedy gave Rian Johnson a trilogy after she saw the first kind of test screening of The Last Jedi.
Right.
And then The Last Jedi came out and it's
very mixed, very decisive.
Yeah. So
divisive,
you just don't know when you're in the process until people watch it and react to it. So I would not like to overpromise and underdeliver. I'd rather do the opposite. So it makes me hesitant or worried, rather, not hesitant, worried about what the end result is going to be here for this series. But they've done so well with it so far, Wendy. So,
Yeah. I mean, look, they've delivered 2 really fantastic seasons and 1 really great episode cameo in Boba Fett. Right. That was really great. So, like, I know they have a really, a lot of good stories to tell.
Yes.
And he says the quote here. He says, quote, I will say that the scope of it is getting bigger. We have really cool space battles. We have lots of Mandalorians. We have the planet Mandalore, which we've been talking about for a long time. You get to see the Mandalorian culture and many of the wonderful actors you've seen in previous seasons return. Ooh, okay. Cameos. Luke's coming back. You'll see them all work together on the show. It's a very ambitious season. A lot of our directors have returned. We have a very experienced team that have been working together for a long time. And I think a lot of people are going to enjoy what we have in store. So he's very passionate about it. And I know he fully believes in this. And I fully believe in it too. Yeah. And I am not, there's some shows that I'm like, okay, like here's my expectations pretty high because of my previous experience with the shows have been very positive.
Right.
But I also know to kind of temper that just a little bit.
Yep.
But as we talked about, some people just get super excited and then it turns into all of a sudden like, I hate
it. Yeah. And that's what you don't want to have happen for sure. But, but they've been promoting this and look, it's coming on the heels of Andor. So in a way, maybe he feels he has to pump up Mandalorian so that people remember that how good Mandalorian is, because a lot of people who have watched Andor are in love with it. So maybe he's just trying to kind of be like, oh, remember our, don't forget about our little show.
Yeah,
pretty badass, and you might not have had Andor if it wasn't for our show. So
this is true. This is true. The Mandalorian is what actually kickstarted the whole Disney Plus subscription.
Oh yeah, totally.
Do you remember back in November, everybody was like, my Disney Plus isn't working. I gotta watch Mandalorian.
That's right. But I also think the dark storylines during Mandalorian, if Star Wars fans hadn't gravitated to those darker storylines during Mandalorian, I don't think we'd have Andor. I think they saw that people liked talking about it, wrote articles about it, did fan stuff about it. So they were like, okay, great. So we can at least go a little bit further with something like Andor. So but I love the idea of Mandalore. I love the idea of us getting a live action experience on Mandalore. What's that all going to be about? Of course, Katie Sackhoff is going to play a huge part in all of this. So what is her role? So there's so much to go back to into the Mandalorian, and hearing that other people from the past are going to come be a part of this, other episodes. This is going to be fun. Just maybe leave off Bobby Cannavale's brother from this one. Maybe don't bring him back. Just a suggestion.
All right.
All right. Are we on to anything else right now?
Next two topics.
Oh yeah, let's do it. What do we got?
Let's talk about Rings of Power, the hit Amazon Prime series based off of Lord of the Rings. What's crazy is this news right here. Like, I'm happy that they're having a second season. There's going to be, new cast members, which I'm very excited for to learn about. But the biggest thing is that they're recasting a pretty significant role. Well, the role is going to remain, but they're replacing the actor. So it is now going to be played by Sam Hazeldine, I think is how you say his last name.
Okay.
Previously, they had originally cast Joseph Mawley.
Yeah.
Who I really enjoyed as Adar. So, like, I was shocked when I heard this. I was like, well, I really enjoyed his performance, and I've gotten used to, what his face looks like and what he sounds like, and all of a sudden they are recasting. This seems not completely abnormal for Hollywood, but it doesn't happen that often.
Yeah. Have we seen what I thought? I thought the actor who played it before released a statement about it.
Oh, let's look it up.
I'm trying to see if I can find it. And see what. Yeah.
All right. He explains why on Twitter. He says, his own tweet, "I loved my time exploring Middle Earth and diving into Tolkien's mythology. I am so honored that the character was liked. He cared deeply about telling you his story. Though as an actor, it remains my job description to explore characters and worlds. Wishing all the best to cast and crew for season 2. I'll be cheering you on from the sidelines."
So it's kind of weird, isn't it? Because it's like it's Joseph Mawle, that's who played it, and a lot of people felt like he was one of the highlights of the first season.
I enjoyed him a lot,
and so you're not alone on this, Wendy. A lot of people are kind of like shocked by this. So I wonder if maybe this was a situation where maybe they weren't getting along, or maybe he was like putting on all that makeup for hours a day.
Maybe the makeup.
Yeah.
Maybe the makeup is what some people can't, like, for example, oh God, I can't remember the actor's name. All I can think is Salah.
Yeah.
Jonathan Rhys
Davies. Yeah, right.
Yes. He had severe allergies to his makeup.
Right. In Lord of the Rings.
And he sucked it up and did it through the whole movie. So what if he, not saying he had a reaction, but like maybe he really didn't.
Yeah.
Like the makeup aspect, because it's a lot. It's the whole face.
Right.
So you have to sit in the makeup chair for a few hours because you're in HD and up close, so it's got to look real good. And then you have to do your lines, and maybe there's a lot of factors into it. I don't think I've read anywhere that like he didn't get along with anybody, but again, why would you publish that?
Right, exactly. And look, I mean, Forbes has it. Rings of Power is losing its best actor. Listen to that.
Oof,
as a strong there. And so there's no real reason just yet. So you wonder about it. In a very, very small micro scale, I know one of the things that made me hesitate, and I didn't end up auditioning for the Dr. Seuss stuff at Universal because I was like, I don't know if I want to wear that makeup all day or on the time. And I know it can be a lot. And Shannon, of course, who we both know works at Universal, he just kind of told me, like, this is the deal, and this, you'd have to wear it for hours on end. And I know I get sensitive when things are near my face.
You would have been a great Mayor Mayhew.
I wanted to audition for that. That was the only role I was going to audition for. The only role. I was like, if I didn't get it, great. I didn't get it. But like, that would have been the role. But seeing the makeup and hearing how you have to have it on for hours, I don't know.
And the wig too.
Oh, and the wig, right?
Yeah. So the wig comes down like it's sideburns, and then your prosthetic nose, because I did this for 4 years.
Yes, you did.
Comes from here. It's foam latex, so it's pretty light, and it comes down like 2 flaps below your, and then it covers your entire upper lip.
Wow.
Like right here. So they put the adhesive, the Prozaid, right over here, and then up the nose. And there's little holes. People say I can't breathe in it. No, you can breathe in it, but you just gotta, if you're nice, you can breathe in it. You're fine. But it is a lot of makeup because then they have to speckle your skin. They put little lashes on you. You're wigged, and it's eating that makes it difficult. Like you can't just have a burger. You can't just have like a pizza. Anything that requires like a bite.
Yeah, you've got to cut it in small pieces.
Yeah. But you would just like knife and fork it. So like chicken tenders and French fries was like my go-to. Anything with straws, just use straws. Mashed potatoes, great.
Perfect. And this is the price. And even in a small scale like that, I was like, I'm not going to put myself through that. So I can't even imagine a larger scale situation here. So until we hear what the actual reason is, which no one has come out and said, the reason is the number of things that you can speculate on as the possibility of the reason why he left, so or it was a mutual thing possibly. So,
it could be a mutual. It sounds like it could, because he put the statement out on his own. So I feel like maybe it's just true what he says. He's like, hey, like this was fun, but it's a lot of time commitment. Maybe the work environment, as far as like the elements go. Some people don't like that, and there's nothing wrong with that.
No, not at all.
As long as and it seemed like they were able to figure it out and cast the next actor who has done the Playlist. He was in the Sandman series. He was in The Witcher, The Last Duel. So like, we're getting another really great actor, so I'm excited. And like facial feature wise, I always think about when they recast how much is gonna look, how will they look completely different? I feel like they obviously don't look exactly the same,
right?
But there's some similarities in the slimness of the face and some bone structures that I think that will not be a very dramatic difference.
Departure. It's not going to be that big of a departure.
Departure.
I'm trying to look him up real quick because he was in Sandman, and I'm trying to wonder. I was wondering what role he played in Sandman. I don't know what he played in Sandman. So I want to. Is he?
Let me see.
Is he the guy that sits at the?
He's in like the flannel shirt with the black jacket on.
Okay. I don't remember.
He was in Sandman.
With the two kid, with the black kid they adopted and were abusing. Yes, is that right?
Let's go to the chat.
Yeah, guys, let us know in the chat. I think it was.
I think Louis Berry says yup.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, he was the guy that was abusing that. Yeah, and And then the Corinthian shows up and just absolutely destroys them. So yeah, fair enough. Okay, all right.
So
good actor though. So not a bad twist. We'll see what he brings to the role. But big orc shoes to be stepping into.
Yes.
Or orc hooves, whatever they have.
Yeah. Because man, that guy Joseph had some really amazing performances in that show. I loved him in the show.
People loved him, that's for sure.
So we'll see. All right. On to the next, a little bit of theme park updates for you guys. We all know that they're doing a new concept for Splash Mountain. So currently it is based on the characters from Songs of the South, which isn't even like accurately depicted, which I don't think they should ever do that. But like if it's definitely not like a let's take the story on screen and let's do it this way. There's a lot of things that they're like, let's take that out. Because Dustin and I were talking about this last night. He's like, oh, there's this part with, I'm not going to say it here, but I was like, they did what in the movie? Like, I've never seen it, so I don't know. And he's like, oh yeah, it's bad. No, I was like, all right. So there's a new concept. They're going to retheme it, and it's going to be telling Tiana's story. It's called Tiana's Bayou Adventure.
Okay.
And there is some new concept art. And basically, it has a similar log, probably the same ride vehicle that we have right now. Disneyland's look a little bit different than Disney World's. Disney World is like double-seater. Disneyland is a single like log. But nonetheless, the ride will look similar. And in the new concept art, we've got Louie. We've got a band of forest critters.
Okay.
And performing a little bit of music with Tiana in her like explorer outfit, kind of like pointing the way. So I think it's going to be more. There you go. Yeah. I think it'll be more cute because I feel like Splash Mountain currently, like, it gets a little scary. Not the drop isn't scary, but like, you know, when you're going up to the final drop and there's like vultures looking at you, you're like, oh no.
Yeah. That looks cool. I mean, I think that's a smart move. Yeah. You want to move past it. Yeah, and then you've got a little bit there. So yeah, you move past it and you have a nice feeling around it, and it's a fun vibe. So yeah, I think that's a great idea, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And it works.
And they're going to be starting the switch over. So they've been saying soon. But now we just got information that Splash Mountain in Florida, in Orlando, it's going to be closed on January 23rd, 2023 to begin the retheme. So if just get your last, I know it's the winter time. Well, I guess it's Florida. It's not going to be that cold in January. So get your fix in now if you still want to see the original Splash Mountain. Go and write it before that theme goes away forever. We're not sure when the Disneyland ride is going to be closing, but both are set to open in 2024. So I think as soon as they're done with the Florida one, they'll start maybe, I don't know if they want to stagger it a little bit or what, but yeah. There you go.
Let me throw something else at you, Wendy. Midnight Sun video game, it drops today. Are you getting Midnight Suns?
The Midnight Suns?
Is that what that is? Is that the one with the Blade and all of them?
Oh, whoa. Oh, the Marvel one?
Yeah, is that today?
That's today?
Or is that something? Yeah, Marvel's Midnight
Suns. It's
Suns.
launched globally and available to play now on Xbox Series X and S, PS5. It's on Steam.
Why wasn't this released during Black Friday so I could get some money?
I know. I might have to.
You're right.
I'll take a look. I'll take a look at how much it is.
$70.
Oh my god, the scores. Oh no.
$70 on the PS5, man.
No.
Maybe if someone
is it cheaper on Steam?
Maybe if someone sends in $150 Streamlab,
don't tease them. They'll do
Wendy and I can buy it, and then Wendy and I can go separately and buy it in our environments, and maybe do a video and give you a shout out. For sending.
There's different versions. There's a legendary edition and there's a digital plus edition. Which one's cheaper?
They did that for fucking what was it for FIFA? So why wouldn't they do it for Midnight Suns? It makes so much sense to have a legendary edition. Theral
really?
also says, by the way, the Wednesday show on Netflix is a great show. Be sure to finish it. Yeah, I got to finish it this weekend. We want to do a review of it on Sunday for the Geek Buddies. So yeah,
nice.
So there you go.
It's $10 cheaper on Steam.
On Steam? What is Steam?
Oh, it's like a digital game library.
Oh,
there's a lot of games. A lot of the games that's available for the PS5, Xbox, and older games. That's
so
available.
You don't have to have the physical copy. You can just buy it digital.
Yeah, you just buy it and it's on in your library.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay, but then you have to have a lot of memory on your library, right? On your PS5.
I mean, I guess so, but don't you?
I don't. I've got because it's full of stuff. It's full of
you got to delete it. Get an external hard drive. One of these guys.
I guess I'm gonna have to get an external hard drive. Yeah,
you don't have one.
I've got a 5 GB one that I rarely use, so I guess I could hook that up to PS5.
You should have for Christmas. Tell Lindley to get you an external hard drive. Tell her to get you the 1 to 2 terabyte. You will love her forever.
That's what I mean. Terabyte. I have a 5.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I was like 5 gigs is gonna give you nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, you're good. You should format it and use it.
Okay. All right.
All of my old stuff is on there. None of my So if I lose the hard drive, then I'm screwed. But
Zach is right. Zach says PS5 storage is small and games are so big now. You're right. That's the problem because I have FIFA, Madden, Spider-Man, God of War. I just bought because it was on a great sale on Black Friday. Ghost of Tsushima, the Director's Edition, which is the one they upgraded for the PS5.
Yeah.
And then Mortal Kombat 11 and another one that I have on there that I will play every once in a while. So yeah, I'm out of space. So I got to get that hard drive. I got to hook up the hard drive here, as Wendy suggests. So cute, so smartly. So yeah, Sean, feel free to laugh at me, Sean. I know 5 gigabytes. I apologize. You nerd. I apologize, nerd. Anyway. All right. And big shout out to Wiley who said support. Berkeley has been tough because of finals. Hey, don't sweat it, Wiley. It's good to see you. So
thanks, Wiley. Yes. Good luck on the finals. You're almost done. Hang in there.
Yeah.
Hang in there.
And I want to know when you're done, bro. I want you to see, I'm not even trying to say that name. Sorry, but I'm crying laughing at 5 gigabytes. No, don't apologize. It's all right.
Man.
Things slip out of my mind nowadays. Anyways, all right. Should we take a break and jump into our what's trending? All right, we'll be right back in just a second. Oh yeah.
Nice.
Wendy, what is trending, for God's sakes?
Well, let's talk about some K-pop news. It's been weeks since I've talked Rocha's year off about K-pop. So let's go ahead and get into it. They just actually had their biggest award show. It's called the Mama. And they had it actually this year in Japan.
Okay.
And it's basically, Asian Music Awards. Huge. Okay. Stray Kids was there. J-Hope from BTS was there. All the girl groups. I would say like mostly 4th generation girl groups were there. Like IVE, Kepler, New Jeans, La Sephirim. Who else am I missing? I'm missing somebody. Missing tons, but a lot of great really performances. And I feel like honestly, everybody came out a winner. It was just a night to celebrate all the wins at this year in K-pop. And I feel like it's been a while since we've had a big Asian Music Award show like this. Blackpink couldn't go. BTS weren't able to go. Just one member went because everybody's busy doing their stuff. BTS is about to leave for their mandatory military service. Not all of them, but a couple members at once. So Jin is the first one to go. But J-Hope was invited and he won for his 2 singles that he put out this year. So it's just like a feel good. Like I stayed up and watched a lot of the streams and because I streamed it and mainly because I knew Stray Kids were performing.
Yeah.
So I had to stay up and watch that. And that was an explosive performance. They used every single inch of that stage. So many people, so many cool visual effects. They had this giant spider kind of hovering over there, which was kind of hard for me to watch if you know me and spiders. But it was like hovering over the stage and moving. And I'm like, is that physical or is that digital? And does it look like that live if you're there? Like, do you see the spider or do you not?
Right.
I don't know how they did it. But if you look up like Stray Kids MAMA awards, like you'll see the giant spider and it's crazy. So I had a good time watching that. Dustin watched a lot of it with me. I am slowly turning him into a K-pop fan if he isn't already. Yeah, so that's a little bit of K-pop news for you. RM from BTS released his solo today, or yesterday, I guess. Wildflower. I've listened to it 50 million times already, and I love the music video.
Okay.
I think it's probably at how many? Let's see, how many millions of views does this have already? Let's find out. When I sent it to you, it was 8.3 million. Okay, so it's gone up. It was at, I think, like 7.9 million when I sent it to you.
Now it's at 8.3 million.
Wow. Yeah. He's also getting ready to, it's not super soon, but he will also have to do mandatory military service.
Oh, no.
Yeah, they all have to do it before the age of 30 in South Korea. They all have to do that. So get as much as you can of the BTS members before, they go and serve their country. Yeah. I mean, they'll be back, but still, you know, 2 years is a long time. We'll miss them.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, like you said, it's the mandatory thing. So many of them have done it and come right back out and done their thing. So hopefully it'll be fine for that. So yeah.
And fans, please, if you're in Korea, don't try to figure out where they're stationed and go.
Do people do that?
I think I've heard people are talking about like wanting to find out. And I'm like, do you not understand this is real life military stuff? Like you can't be there. You're going to create danger for yourself and for the other people.
This isn't a movie. You're not just going to show up on set and it was like,
yeah, you'll get pictures of them in their uniform. That'll happen. It'll happen.
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to do? You can't approach them. You know, it's insane. This is another reason why I felt like they should have been exempt from it, because it creates this kind of like again, not all the fans, it's a small percentage, but those are the ones that you're like, why are you this way?
Yeah. Take me through your life, because I need to figure out where the disconnect happened.
When did that happen for you?
Reconnect that synapse so we don't do these things that you're doing. Yeah.
Yes. Hey, listen, I got to take Dustin to his first official K-pop concert.
Yeah.
That was Blackpink. We were in the suites, and it was a good time. I feel like I didn't really pay attention to him half the time.
Well, you're not there to see him.
No, I was sitting there. I was doing this. Woo! Me and Laura screaming, yelling.
That's so great.
Like little girls. Oh, wait, it's not turned on. It makes a sound. Oh, and speaking of Blackpink.
Yeah.
I want to show you this. This is what I had to go and get. So this is Jennie from Blackpink.
Oh, yeah.
She's on the cover of Elle. But I have to show you which one of our friends wrote the article.
What? Oh.
Hold on.
I think maybe I know.
Uh-huh. Nope, that's Lily Rose Depp.
Yeah.
So here's Miss Jennie Kim, Jennie Ruby Jane.
Right. Oh shit.
Laura Siri-Cool, her cover story on Elle.
That's awesome.
So that's what I was doing this last couple of days, trying to hunt down this copy, because it was hard.
Really?
It was hard to get this.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so awesome for Laura, man. You know, how does she do all? I mean, people say I work. Laura is always doing shit and then going out
working
to these concerts as well. I'm amazed at the energy that Laura has. Just
I don't know how.
Yeah.
I don't know how. She's a very busy lady.
Yeah.
And she always
hello.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But I was really happy for her. It was like top secret for a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
And the article reads great. I think
Did she interview her or just wrote?
She sat face. She looked at Jennie's face and asked her question to her face.
Wow.
Obviously, no pictures were allowed.
Right.
But I was just like, so how was it? She's like, I was so nervous meeting Jennie because Jennie's very professional and very focused. And they were at the Elle photo shoot. So, you know, it's photo shoot first. So Jennie was working. Right. And then by the time they were done, then it was time for the interview. And Laura's just been watching her work all day. And she was like, oh, God.
Wow.
And she said she was so soft-spoken and almost shy. It's like a whole different person. It's actually a part of the article, but it's almost like a different persona, you know, like the work persona and like herself when she sat down for interview. Just Dave Bautista is that way too. Like when I first met him, I was actually kind of scared because he's so tall. He's so tall. And I was like, oh God. Like, so I got scared. And when he spoke up and he asked me something, because I think I had the microphones I was supposed to give him, and I was trying to figure out which one was his, and he said something to me, and I was like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah,
like a whisper, so quiet.
He probably does that because he doesn't want to intimidate people with his size. So he kind of,
which I already was intimidated.
Yeah, you're already intimidated. So if you came off as like, give me the microphone, you'd lose your shit. So
cry, run away crying.
Is it okay if I have the microphone? You know, it's kind of a little more. It underplays it for sure. I mean, what was I watching the other day? I was watching this Thanksgiving football games, and the coach of the Lions is a beast that they shaved down and taught to speak. Like, he is so big. He's a Bigfoot. And he was talking with the sideline reporters, this Tracy Wolfson, who's so great, this small little, and he looked like he was going to eat her. Like,
oh my gosh,
so big in the comparison. He was not like leaning down. He was like literally going down like this just to speak to her microphone, because the difference in size was so massive between those.
Wow.
Two. Yeah, he's a beast.
Incredible. Man. Incredible.
Yeah.
Sorry, we got a little sidetracked. Sorry about that. Yeah. But yes, congratulations to Laura. She is awesome. I hope this is just the beginning of really awesome things for her.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that, I'm manifesting that, like, because she got this, she can interview a member of BTS.
Come on now.
That would be like her. She would be, I don't know how she would be able to conduct the interview.
Yeah.
You know, because she's such a fan, but at the same time, she's very professional.
Yes.
So she would act accordingly. And yeah, we got to see Blackpink. Me, Laura, and Dustin got to see Blackpink together on day 1 when they were in LA. The energy, man, was unmatched. Like, because you already know, I saw them in Georgia.
Right.
But their energy was high in Georgia, but in LA was a whole different game. They love being in LA.
You got to show up and show out in LA. There's a professional motivation to deliver the best show in certain cities. Not saying they don't deliver great shows in the other cities. It's just there's that little extra oomph that you're putting into shows like in LA and New York or Tokyo or London. These shows, you got to bring it. And this is one of those cities. And plus you ride the energy of the people in LA who are much more like, entertain me. You know, there's a whole thing. So yeah.
Yes. I'll say this. I'm glad for me, because I'm 5'1", I didn't get floor seats, because I wasn't able to get barricade again, because I was seeing that. Yeah, exactly. People were standing on top of their chairs.
What?
And I was like, okay, that's not cool.
Yeah, no, it's
like
not.
For the people who paid the same money as you did, those tickets are expensive, and for you to stand on the chairs, whoever started it,
shame on you.
Shame on you. Shame on you. Another K-pop thing is we know that Stray Kids are coming back in March of next year. So I fought for those tickets. Day 1, couldn't get a single ticket.
Damn.
Ticketmaster sucks.
Wow.
I hate them.
Those Taylor Swift fans are super pissed at Ticketmaster.
They should sue. Yeah. And for Monopoly, you know, they own a lot of the third party.
The other ones. Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like that should be not allowed, because in my experience, and I was surprised that I got the tickets that I even did.
Yeah.
But I got them. Luckily, I was like, you know what? Forget it. I'm just gonna buy it and I'll figure it out later. Like if these are good seats or not, I was like, these look good enough. I'm gonna get them, because they were disappearing quick.
Right.
I was in the queue, and you've bought Ticketmaster.
Yep.
You've gone through the process before, so they gave you the stereotypical. There's 2,000 plus people ahead of you.
Right.
And I'm just like, cool. And we were just kind of trucking down, you know, that queue, and I was like, okay, we're moving like Comic-Con, the little person walking.
Yeah.
And then it froze for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is happening? So I go on Twitter to investigate. And sure enough, the freeze supposedly is Ticketmaster was seeing how many tickets were being actually snatched up at face value. So they froze the queue to give the scalpers and the third party sites to snag all of those up before they reopened it. Because by the time I got in, which was only 10 minutes after the queue had opened, mine was officially actually like official platinum.
Right.
Which is already resale. Like that is the biggest BS ever.
Wow. Yeah, so I imagine they do that because they make more money from people buying bulk tickets in bulk by charging the service fees than they do by people buying them, you know, 2 or 3 at a time or 1 at a time. It's just a different situation for them. So I hope, the Congress launched an investigation. So we will see if they actually follow through on what they are going to investigate and explore here. Before the new Congress takes over, because Lord knows they're going to let business get away with everything, you know. So hopefully they'll find something out before January to kind of bring back and change some of the practices that Ticketmaster is doing for themselves. So yeah, I get that it's a business, but on the other side of it is you can't be, how can I say this, nefarious in your business practices with the public. It's not good. Yeah. Dishonest.
Agreed. Very dishonest. And it's literally the only ticket selling platform we have.
Yeah. Right. And that's a monopoly, and that should not.
That's a monopoly in that respect. But still really happy that I got my Stray Kids tickets. A little light stick cape.
Cool.
taking Dustin with me to this one, so we'll see how he handles me at that concert, because Blackpink was just a little appetizer.
That was just you were in the suites. If
we
you're down on the floor is a whole nother ball game.
Yeah, and we're not in the floor. We still have like the seats, but we didn't get the suites because they're way more expensive.
Yeah, they are.
And I want like to go in together with a bunch of people for the suites, and opportunity wasn't there for that time, and that's totally fine. I just don't think he's not seen me watch Stray Kids live, so we'll see.
I
We'll
tell
see what
people
happens.
myself. I tell people myself, like, you think you've seen me passionate? If you've never watched me watch a Liverpool game, you have no idea how passionate I can get. And that's the difference there. I agree with you. It's like, oh yeah, you've seen a little bit, but once I'm fully dialed in,
you're in the game. You're there. You're screaming at the field.
Oh my God, yeah. Just like like you were saying, exactly. Like when you're going to be down there. Dustin better hold on to that wild horse. I'll just tell you that right now, because it's gonna go out.
He's screaming. I have no voice left.
Yeah,
I have no voice. I've showed him clips of like my recordings, and he's like, "Is that you screaming?" I was like, "Sure is, sure is."
Honey, get off of me, okay? All right, keep watching the show.
Let me watch Stray Kids. All right.
Man. All right, let's wrap it up here. We should talk about our stuff that's coming out and our reviews here. Look at this, $2,000 for a Taylor Swift ticket. No thanks. No thanks.
Oh my gosh,
That's
really?
what they're scalping for, $2,000 per ticket.
Who has money for that? I mean, people do, and that's probably why.
Yeah,
they could price it at
that.
People
who listen to Taylor Swift, I think, have money for that.
Look, always wait until like right before the concert. They'll get desperate. They'll sell.
Oh, that's a good point.
Cheaper price.
Yeah.
All right, next segment.
Yeah.
Let's
go ahead. What do we got?
So
let's get into
we're
it.
Basically we're just wrapping up some of the things that we've seen, what we are feeling about it. I have actually been dying to talk to you about Willow. Did you watch it? What did you think?
Yeah, we just dropped our review this morning of the first 2 episodes. I did not watch the 7 that they made available because I was like, I don't think
they made 7 available.
They made 7 available.
Oh, I missed all of them.
IGN had a review of all the first 7 episodes up there.
That's right.
And I was like, I don't know, because I didn't like the first. It's not that I didn't like the movie. I just don't have the same magic for the movie that other people did. So I was like, okay, let's see what we got here. And I watched the first 2 episodes. As I said, we reviewed it on Geek Buddies this morning. It's out if you guys want to watch that. But overall, I thought the tone was a bit all over the place. I liked a majority of the performances. I liked the setup and the construct of the story. I just didn't 100% like all the execution over the first 2 episodes. But enough was good that I'm like, okay, let's see where we're going. Because it's very much a CW approach to Willow, while also trying to mix in a little bit of the darker stuff and storylines, like that shot of Willow walking around the dead bodies and stuff. There's a little bit of darkness that's roaming through it, but I think they are mirroring the tone from the movie. So if you like the movie, I think you'll like the series. Yeah. If you didn't like the movie, I don't know if the series is going to be for you. But again, I want to stress this. That being said, there are some fantastic actors in here. I like Ruby Cruz. I like Erin Kellyman. I think Ellie Bamber can be a little bit. We'll see what more she can bring with that. Warwick is kind of hit or miss as he's always been. But you've got Ralph Ineson, who's in there as Valentine, as the kind of the evil guy the good guy that's turning evil. I loved the Indian actor who they've got to play. Is that? I think he's.
Oh yes, Borman.
Yeah, Borman, who's playing Borman. He is so good as Borman.
He's so big.
Yeah, he's big and he's funny and he's calling everybody out, which is great to have that energy in a show. So overall, and I like the visuals. I dug the direction of it. So there's enough here to keep me watching, although I may not 100% be loving it. But there's enough here to keep me going. That's my overall thoughts. What about you?
I enjoyed it. I think I enjoyed episode 1 more so than episode 2. I felt like
I'll agree with you on that.
It was a bit exhibition heavy, and I get that they needed it to set that up, but I would prefer it if it was spread throughout. It wasn't just all of this. But I think they're trying to establish certain beats so that they can get to the next episode.
Yes,
And then the
right.
next episode.
It was very much exposition these first 2 episodes, for sure.
Yeah. And as most shows are, I feel like you can even make the same argument for Andor a little bit, even though we kind of have an idea. But the execution for me was like on point for Andor. This one, it was some good, some could have been better. I think one of my biggest things, and like some people in the comments in our video was like, you need to get over it. And I was like, but it bothered me. But I also acknowledged that eventually I think I'll just stop noticing it. But in the way of Sorsha, basically the older cast members.
Yeah.
You know, the Queen's Guard, the Queen herself, Willow, and his fellow Nelfins, like they spoke in the manner was a little bit more period, which was very parallel to the movie. And then the newer cast, because they're younger, fresh, they brought in that more of a CW vibe, which like not hating on CW shows because I love them too.
Sure.
But it was like oil and water to me.
Yeah. It's anachronistic. And it's okay to be anachronistic. If everyone is anachronistic, it's weird to be anachronistic when you're the only ones doing it. And I get it. You're creating a generational divide, you know, the way old people speak versus the way the younger people speak, and how they approach the old traditions of arranged marriages and all of that. I get it. But yeah, I think it throws you off to have that. Plus, well, how does Aaron Kellyman have a British accent and the other person has American accent?
And the kids whose parent is
British, how do they have an American accent? Are there other areas of this kingdom that have English accents versus American accents? It's just kind of confusing in that way too.
Yeah. That's what really kind of threw me off, where I was like, I think I'm gonna get over it by episode 4. Because now it's established, it's not going away. That's just the way they're speaking.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna keep watching the show. So you know, I think my brain will just eventually get used to it. But it kind of took me out a couple of times where I was like, okay. Yeah. So, but other than that, I thought the bad guys looked great. The Gales.
Yeah, the Gales.
Sick. That whip with the bone.
Yeah, wow. It was cool. I have expected, I said this on the review, I have expected rain, lightning, and thunder to show up from Big Trouble in Little China because of all the fog and the different things that were happening. Like, oh shit, is someone have lightning? Does someone
never trust the fog? Yeah, so that's our quick thoughts on Willow. Andor's over, unfortunately. I loved it.
Yeah,
every single episode, man, I loved it.
Yep, top to bottom, best.
Yeah.
You know what? You want to talk about House of Dragon? You want to talk about Better Call Saul, all that kind of shit? You better start talking about Andor as well. I mean, like that show is not your typical Star Wars show. It is absolutely in the same conversation with these great shows of the year. And I hope to God the Emmys recognize that. I don't know how many of these voters are going to actually sit and watch Andor, but I sure as shit hope they do, because there's a lot of great work being done, acting wise, writing wise, direction wise, story wise, throughout that series. And it's kind of, if the viewing numbers aren't 100% great, if they can get awards, that's a great indicator that they are in the right path to make shows like this. Not all shows should be like this, but certainly some of the Star Wars shows can survive being like this, you know?
Absolutely. Anything else that you've been watching you want to recommend to the audience, whether it's theaters or streaming?
I'll tell you what, I can't believe I'm going to say this. Criminal Minds Evolution is fucking good, ladies and gentlemen. It's on Paramount Plus. I stopped watching Criminal Minds around 2012. It got a little too much. Like, I got sick of watching all these dead bodies every fucking show. So I just was sick of it after a while. And the stuff with Thomas Gibson and hearing about the negative stuff, that's kind of turned me off on him. But I saw the trailer for this new one a few weeks ago, and I was like, honey, do you think we give us a shot? And she likes these kind of procedurals. So we watched on Paramount Plus, loved it. First 2 episodes were great. They pared down the team, and the stuff they're going after, I think, really works, and it's well shot. So I'm 100% on board with it. And by the way, Paramount Plus, because Tulsa King is a great show for me. I'm loving Tulsa King. Strange New Worlds. There's a lot that's happening on Paramount Plus in terms of shows that people need to start paying a bit more attention and talking about, because they're doing a wonderful job with these shows. Yeah. So
So that was like the last thing that I expected to hear from you.
I know. I'm surprised too, because I don't usually dial into the procedurals. But I was
Right.
like, I'll give it a shot, and I thought it was really good. I almost did a review for it because I was like, "Fuck it."
Wow.
No, I don't know if anyone's gonna watch this, but I might do a review for this. So we'll see. Maybe
Why
after the third
not?
episode, I'll be motivated to do it. Yeah.
Or you can do an overall.
Yeah, true. And overall, because they haven't
Yeah.
dropped all the episodes, they're going week by week. So it's just
Right.
you kind of have to wait. So maybe we'll see. Oh yeah, someone mentioned Gangs of London. I haven't even started season 2, so I've got to jump into Gangs of London season 2. Well, what about you? Is there anything else you're watching?
I mean, just trying to catch up. I know that the Critical Role folks did
Oh yeah.
a campaign 2 reunion, so I think that went up yesterday. So I think we're gonna watch it tonight.
Okay.
But I absolutely loved Violent Night.
Oh my God. What
It's
a
so
blast.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all need to go see it this weekend because it comes out this weekend, I
Show
think.
it some
So
love. Yeah.
yeah, go and see Violent Night. I mean, Harbor is so good in this movie. And the young little girl, I can't remember her name right now, their chemistry is so perfect in the film. And all the other cast members, Beverly D'Angelo is fun. Like Wazamo is deliciously evil.
He's so good.
He's so good.
You know, he had a great time getting to play
100%. You know, he was doing.
Yeah, he was just like you could. I was like, stop smiling. You're playing the villain.
Well,
He's just like, yes.
Is that he's graduated from being like an ensemble villain in a previous, that he is now the lead villain in these things. So I thought that was a good thing overall. And some of the kills are brutal and bloody and insane. So if you're not too sensitive about Santa Claus breaking some bones, then I would highly recommend y'all go see this film because it's so much fun. And Wendy loved it as well. So yeah,
give it some love.
Yeah,
like expectation was pretty high and exceeded it. I was like,
yeah,
oh, wait, because I just wasn't expecting, like you were saying, that because Santa Claus beating up bad guys. I was like, all right, so this is not going to be like warm fuzzy Santa Claus, but it was.
Yeah, right.
It still was. They somehow did it.
He's in a midlife crisis or mid Christmas crisis, and he's like, I don't know if I even want to be Santa Claus anymore.
Yeah,
I got stuff going on with my wife. I got issues going on with the kids not loving Santa Claus anymore. Everybody just wants things. They're all greedy. I don't even know if I want to be Santa Claus anymore. And this whole adventure is him like discovering if he wants to continue doing Santa anymore, and what it takes, what he encounters when he goes through this whole thing is great. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You will love it. It's a great time.
Yeah, I love The Whale that comes out next week. I saw it last night. It's so good. I liked Emancipation, even though we've seen some mixed reviews. I really enjoyed it. I thought Will Smith was great. Is there anything else that I saw this? I think that's pretty much it. Wendy, the
Love is Blind. I finished it.
You did?
I finally finished it. Oh my gosh. I don't know how I want to feel. Hold on. Let me pull up the cast. Sorry, guys.
Love is Blind season 3 on Netflix now.
So
that reunion episode, Lindley had to tie me down to the chair. I was losing my shit.
I wasn't okay. Remember we talked about this, and I think it was just a phone call.
And
I said that the younger, what is his name?
Cole,
and they weren't gonna work out.
Yeah, Cole
Bryce
and
said that?
Cole and what's her face, the evil one.
And just to see it now, to watch it play, I felt really, really bad.
Yeah.
That the way he was crying so hard at the, and I'm sure like there's some of the stuff that he said to her that was taken, like she didn't take it, like it wasn't the right thing for him to say either.
Yeah.
That wasn't caught on camera, because you catch little things, and I was like, why would you say that?
Yeah.
In it, like, but I just think that aside from, I don't know what happened in the pods and what they talked about, because their connection was really, really strong.
Yeah.
But that the second they came out of that, I felt like that all fizzled.
Yeah.
And they're both very attractive people.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it was a physical thing that they're like, oh, sorry, I'm just not attracted to you like the other dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who I don't like at all. I didn't like from the beginning.
Oh my God.
Nicole's guy.
Nuts. Like Zanab was a walking
ball. That's her name.
Yeah.
I just felt she was like just really unnecessarily, like, kind of some of the things that she would quip back. Like when they were making the chicken.
Yes.
And I felt bad for him. That was the only time that I really kind of felt, oh.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
You know, he was trying to be playful, but the flip side of the thing, I'll play a devil's advocate here. The girl seems to be really, really supportive of her.
The girls, the other women? Yeah.
Yeah. So I wonder, there's obviously definitely more to the story
Yeah.
than there is to, and the two people didn't chime in is the one married couple. What are their names?
Yeah, no,
Colleen?
they did chime in, right?
Yeah,
Alexa?
but they were no, oh, sorry, no, not Alexa. Colleen and,
Oh,
the other guy.
yeah, Joe, right?
Y
Joe?
Something like that.
Yeah.
I can't remember the cast members' names, but I felt like they were the ones that kinda stayed quiet because I think he's friends with Cole.
Well, I also think they didn't want
Mhm.
the thing to turn to him because he was pretty abusive of Colleen. He was domineering. He was
Mhm.
constantly upset about shit and constantly threatening to leave the relationship all the time.
I couldn't
He
deal with that.
he created an abusive situation, and even his body positioning around her. He is like his hand is literally almost his body is on top of her almost
Like,
as if
controlling.
he's like, "You better not move, woman." You know, it was very controlling his body language. And so for me, as I'm watching it, I'm like, this is the dude you should be going after, not poor Cole over here, who is
Mhm.
clearly being gaslighted by Zeneb and her insane bullshit in her mind that she's fabricated about him.
Well, yeah, because they made a point to do the orange, scene
Yes.
afterwards.
Yeah, and they showed it and they're like, basically Zeneb
I
lying
was
her
like,
fucking
"Oh,"
face
I
off.
was like, "It wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be."
Totally lying her face off. And yesterday I was reading, oh God, you shouldn't have started me on this. Yesterday I was reading on Screen Rant, she met up with his ex-wife. Like,
With
leave him
Cole's
the fuck
ex-wife?
alone. Leave him the fuck alone, you nutbag.
He was married?
Yes, he was married when he was younger. And he's got a religious
Oh,
stuff, but he was
okay.
married when he
Oh,
was
right,
younger
okay.
and they divorced. Yeah. So she said she met up with his ex-wife. Like,
Why?
what is wrong with you, you
She
nutball?
said no to him at the altar. She was the
Right?
first one to say
You
no.
said no, but it's because that show totally fucked her over in the reunion episode by showing that she's lying. So she's had to defend herself constantly on video on social media. She
Oh.
even did a thing on TikTok, and it's like she is just a full-on liar, and it was really unsettling to see that kind of manipulation. I mean, you should have gone after Bartice more than Cole. I mean, Cole
Him,
seemed like
yes.
Bartice was a jerk.
But we knew that was gonna be the situation.
Oh yeah,
That was
totally.
gonna be full on. I felt really bad for Nicole. I really liked her a lot
Yeah, I like her
as
too.
one of the
Yeah,
contestants. I thought she was really, straightforward, and she communicated what she wanted,
yeah,
and he just wasn't ready, and he let the physical thing get to him because the
yeah,
second he laid eyes
yeah,
on Raven, it was over.
yeah.
And
100%.
Raven was like, "Yeah, nope, I'm over here. That's my
Oh yeah.
girl, and I got my man. I am staying out of it."
As
She's a
soon as he
smart
saw
woman.
Raven, you're absolutely right. As soon as he saw Raven in the pool, he was like, "Oh fuck, I messed up here," and you
Yeah.
can tell. And the
Mhm.
whole way he treats Nancy from that point forward,
Nancy, not Nicole, yes.
even though he's nice, even though he's like all these things to her family and all this kind of shit, you can tell as soon as they said, "Well, the sex has stopped or the physical intimacy has stopped," game over. This
Mhm,
early in the relationship, if the
mhm.
physical intimacy is not working, it's game over. So,
Yeah.
God damn, Wendy, we got to review season 4 together for
We
fuck's sake,
gotta Yeah,
please.
you know what? Oh my, when is it coming? Is it
Please.
they're gonna do another one?
Yeah, of course they're gonna do another one. Of
Okay, we
course.
should do a weekly. Oh, wait, no, they
Okay.
drop all the episodes. They binge
Yeah,
all
so
of them.
they drop them in chunks, so we'll have to like do 1 through
We'll
4
just do it. Yeah, we'll
episodes.
just
Yeah,
do it, and then we'll okay,
yeah.
no, let's do it.
Okay, good. Because I need someone because she goes crazy. I love her to death that she's willing to put up with me in this, but like I'm an insane person watching this show. Yeah, yeah, it's crazy.
Let's do it.
Fucking Zeneb.
I just love that the producers like had enough. That whoever it was that was dropping all the footage of like what's his face dropping the with the fake tears in his eyes
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
the
Michael,
orange.
I think. Yeah.
I was like, ooh, somebody in the department was like, no, air it all.
Yeah, exactly. She's a clown. She's a fucking clown.
Oh,
That's Zeneb. Ugh.
oh. All right.
She's on what she is on TikTok. How many followers does she have on TikTok? I don't even know how
Probably
many
a
followers
lot.
she has. Yeah, she probably does because
And because
she's all
she's,
about herself.
she's essentially a celebrity now.
156,000 followers on
Oh,
fucking yeah. So she used this whole thing to promote herself, and Joel and Cole is just fucking caught up in the gears of her needing to promote herself. Guys, pay attention. Pay attention when the red flags are there. Get the fuck out of the situation. Women, the same thing. When the red flags are there, like what's his face, Joe, domineering her, poor Colleen, and
she looked scared, didn't she?
Get the fuck out of there, man. Yeah,
I felt like she was nervous to speak her actual mind during the she didn't want to anger him.
I almost tweeted a picture of her going, Colleen, please blink twice if you're in trouble.
She was so happy to say yes on the wedding day, though.
But they never revealed to him that he was her third choice. She wanted those other two guys. They never showed how into the other two guys she was before she defaulted to Cole.
With Cole and there was
with Cole
Batiste.
Batiste,
no.
yeah.
Her and Batiste would have worked too.
But if they had showed how into Cole she was, how into Batiste she was, I think Joe would have lost his fucking mind and maybe even hit her on the fucking set. I don't know. He seems like a very unstable person.
Yeah, that's not. I'm not saying I've been in relationships like that before, but I just know me, and I don't like being told what to do. And the second anybody that would ever do that, no. We can talk about it and we can compromise.
Yeah. Well,
you're not gonna lord over me.
I've dated a few Zanebs, so that's why it hits me. That's what hits me. No. you know. My
this
last
was a whole
one.
triggering thing.
Yeah.
Oh no.
You remember. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know.
The tea is piping hot, guys. All right, we should end on that note. That's great.
All right, let's get out of here. Thank you all so much for joining us. We appreciate it madly. You guys are wonderful. Thanks for the Streamlabs and the super chats. We appreciate it. Please make sure you hit a like on this video. Wendy, another fun show. Glad we're back doing this. Please, it's a great way to detox my week with you, hanging out, having some fun. Where can people find you and everything that's going on, please?
Thanks, Rocha. It was such a fun show. I'm glad we're back talking about all the nonsense again all together. I'm on the YouTubes, the Movie Couple channel on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, I guess.
Yes.
For as long as it lasts. For as long as it's still here. People, it's funny. I made an account on Hive just to get my handle.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, you're leaving Twitter. And I was like, who said anything about leaving? Just because I make a new account on a new social media doesn't mean I have to leave what? I can juggle things, guys. So it's all the same, just at Wendy Lee Zaney everywhere except for TikTok, which is Wendy Zaney, because
there you go. Nice.
Why not?
As for me, you can follow me at The Rocha Says on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, The Outlaw Nation on Twitch. Please subscribe to the channel down below. I'm trying to get to 25,000 subscribers. I'm so close. I'm so close, people. I'm like 300 people away from getting to 25,000. So please get me across that line. I would appreciate it, especially before the end of the year. It would be fantastic to cross 25 by the end of the year. It would be great for y'all. So please do that as you're watching. Hit a like on this video, share it on your social media, and listen to my podcasts, The Top 10, The Cinephiles, Geek Buddies, and Strong Style, and The Hot Mic. They're all out there for y'all to enjoy. And if you're into pro wrestling, tomorrow at 3 p.m. on the Strong Style channel, we will be there doing our weekly show. And if you're into the World Cup, tomorrow at 7 a.m. on this channel and on the Game Time sports channel that I created a couple of weeks ago on YouTube, I will be live broadcasting the United States versus Holland in the round of 16 of the World Cup. So come and hang out with me and let's watch some football, and I'll answer all your questions about soccer/football. All right.
Nice.
Take care of yourselves. Be well. We love you madly. And we'll talk to you next time with another brand new episode of the John and Wendy Show. Have a good weekend.